Guys, college football is back. What a time. What a time. What a great weekend. Some great matchups, some great games, some not so great games. I think overall as a whole, it was a great watch. It was fantastic in my book. Look, starting on Thursday night, Boise State, they're going down. Down go them. So, I mean, there's not much to talk about. They did not look good at all. Apparently, Shinjinti, big loss. Who would have thought? I wouldn't have thought. Going into the next night, got the Colorado Buffalo. They look great. They did look great. Georgia Tech with the early turnovers. They were struggling like a motherfucker. Colorado didn't really capitalize on all those mistakes by Georgia Tech. And it was a barn burner. Eventually, that man, Haynes King, just runs one right up the middle for about 50 yards with a minute left in the game. And that quarterback he's not a gunslinger for Colorado. He's okay. But, you would expect a guy who's already played, 2 or 3 years in college football to not suck that bad. But he sucked a little bit. Still had a great game. I think he rushed for a TD, may have thrown for one. I forget. But, Colorado Buffalo, I think they're going to have a rough season. That was kind of a needed win, get him kick-started, post-Shedeur Sanders, post-Travis Hunter. And I think they needed a win, and they just didn't quite get it. But, good test for him. Kind of see early in the season at home. That place was rocking down there in Colorado. But is what it is. You don't really expect much out of Buffalo. It's kind of a hype team. They're really exciting right before the season starts. And right when they lose, you're kind of like, all right, back to reality. And that's just kind of how it was with the Buffalo. Kind of a back to reality moment. Unfortunate, I think they're going to have a tough year in the Big 12. Big 12's looking pretty good. But the game that everybody was talking about, the game that I think matters the most, The Ohio State University takes down the number 1 Texas Longhorns down there in Columbus. Is Arch Manning a fraud? I don't think so. Look, the guy is the heir to the Manning throne. You've been kind of brought upon, called the Messiah for since he was 14 years old. He's kind of been the Messiah, the heir to the Manning kingdom, the Manning family. And 2 years, he's just sitting there. You know how great he is, all the hype, all this, all that. He kind of laid an egg. And, I don't know how anybody can, sit there and talk shit on him. Does anybody understand that type of pressure to be the heir to the Mannings like that and being called the next great one for, the last 3 to 4 years? That's an unbelievable amount of pressure. And then usually these teams are getting thrown soft pitch. Easy team, first game to start the season. You get all this pressure, you're the next great one, you're the Messiah, the heir to the Manning family, whatever. And you got to go out there and you got to play fucking Ohio State at Ohio State. And those motherfuckers were just, they were all over the place. They were coming at you left, right, and center. Yeah, he should have been better. But, why is everybody saying he sucks? He had a bad game. Give him a season. Nobody's ever had that pressure on him. Yeah, maybe he should have performed better. You should be performing better as the quarterback there at Texas, especially against Ohio State. But, what do you mean as a defensive masterclass? The other guy, what? He played well. The other quarterback, saying for Ohio State? If he one lucky touchdown that the Carnell Tate juggled and caught it, right? That's the winner, right? They don't punch in on the goal line, Texas. Ohio State does. It's not like it was much different on either side. There's just so much hype around Arch Manning that if he doesn't throw for fucking 300 yards and 6 touchdowns, bad game. It's not what we expect from the guy. And look, let him just get into the season, right? Let him throw these easy games, get his tempo going, get it going right, and then just kind of get it going for the SEC. I think he's going to have a great year. Look, it's a bad game. It's an unbelievably tough start. All that pressure's been mounting on you. Maybe he wasn't ready. How can you be ready? That's a hell of a ton of pressure. But, fourth quarter, he started slinging a little bit. He started to get comfortable. You could see glimpses of what could be. Early in the game, skipping balls, just shit passes. I think you get that confidence going throughout the season. That's why you don't play beginning of the season. You kind of get your rhythm going, right? There's no preseason in college football. You're just right out there. You're playing Ohio State, the defending national champions, with all that pressure on you. So, I don't blame him for sucking. But like I said, he didn't even suck. That was just a tough-ass game. That was a defensive masterclass from both sides. It's just because what we expect, what we've talked, and what he should be, right? Yeah, he made some mistakes. He'll clean those up. Playing against probably the best defense in the country. He'll be better. He'll be great this season. Texas is still going to be a damn problem. But I don't understand how you can drop Texas from number 1 to number 7, losing to defending national champions and number 3 in the nation. Like, if anything, flip-flop, right? They lost by 1 touchdown. They got stopped. Like, it wasn't like they got blown out or anything. To drop from 1 to 7 makes no sense. How, like, I don't understand the rankings and how that happens. Like, other teams flip-flop. Clemson went to 9 from 3. How does Texas go from 1 to 7 by losing by 1 touchdown in a close game that could have realistically gone either way? Like, if you watch the game, it could have gone either way. It wasn't that different. Like, both those teams are balling. They're good. Defensively, great. I think offensively, they're very good, right? They just kind of got to get things going and kind of figure out a rhythm for the season. They're facing some of the best defenses in the country. In a big game, pressure cook, opening game, it's, you know what I mean? But I mean, enough about Texas Ohio State. Everybody's been talking about him, talking about Arch Manning, saying he sucks. Get him out of there. He's not the one we thought he was. I still think he is. I still think he will. Let's talk about the Crimson Tide. I called it. If you watch my previous videos, I told you Alabama doesn't have it anymore. Kalen DeBoer, I don't think Alabama's the same Crimson Tide they were under Nick Saban, right? I called the loss. I knew Florida State was going to beat them. I mean, I think it's going to be a rough year for Alabama. I think Alabama needs to win that game, right? Going into a tough SEC schedule, I think losing that first game is going to kill them, especially to a Florida State. I mean, Texas losing to Ohio State, Ohio State's going to be great all year. They're going to finish top 5, and it's a good loss. Like, it really doesn't hurt you whatsoever. You can still get in the playoff with 3 or 4 losses in the SEC. Alabama looked like shit. They sucked. There's someone you can say, hey, what the hell was that? They sucked. They did not look good at all. We all thought Florida State was going to suck, but boy, those guys are some dogs, and I think they're going to be a real problem in the ACC this year. But, dude, that ACC conference is going to be disgusting. Those guys are going to be good. You got Clemson in there. You got Miami. You got Florida State now that no one was kind of expecting. You just kind of came there now. All right, the boys are here, and they just beat the shit out of Alabama. I think it's going to be a tough-ass conference, right? I think you'll see 2, maybe even 3 teams from them sneak into the playoff. Right, but I mean, all these conferences have such good teams. Like Big Ten, you see 3 or 4, ACC, 3 teams in there, SEC, you could 4 or 5 teams you could really argumentatively make a case for. So it's going to be tough. Like, I don't really know how to scout anything, see how it goes, but I'm just happy to see Alabama lose. And I was happy, and I told you all, and I hope some of you guys listen to me. I hope everybody put the fucking house on Florida State, because I did, and I knew. This brand of mine, it knew. It knew Alabama had no shot. Right, you saw them in that bowl game last year. They just weren't playing. That last season, man, they lost to Oklahoma at Oklahoma. They just kind of fell apart there at the end. And I think that it just translates over. And I don't think I really think it's coaching. Still Alabama, but people got to realize how important the coaching is. Just day in, day out, holding people accountable, keeping them going, practice, working hard, doing all this shit. It's indispensable. And I just don't think, I think Alabama's coach gets fired. I saw he has a $70 buyout clause. So, man, that guy gets fired. Cool. He can sit on the couch and gets paid $70 million. So that's, I mean, good for him. Great deal. Great negotiation. Whoever got that deal for him, fucking brilliant. I could have told you on the spot, shit deal. He's not an Alabama coach. So I think the Crimson Tide are going to have a rough season. I think they're going to get smacked on in the SEC. I think it's not going to be a good look for them. I think they're really going to struggle. But speaking of SEC, man, LSU versus Clemson. The Tigers sneak away in a close one. Man, I don't think any of these losses hurt anybody, right? I still think Clemson has an easier way to get into the college football playoff, right? LSU, dude, you still got to go through the gauntlet of the SEC. Now, if Clemson does what we think Clemson will do, and they kind of run through the ACC, that's still a great win for LSU, right? Buys them an extra loss, right? If tiebreakers, closeness, discussions, they still have that over, and it'll be good for them. But, I mean, LSU, any team going to the SEC, it really is anybody's thing. Any team can get hot, and we just got to see how they're going, right? Texas didn't look as great as we thought. LSU looked pretty damn good in that Clemson game. I think LSU is going to be a real problem this year. But hard to see, man. Any given day, and all those games were, right, one-score games, close games. So, I mean, it could really go either way in any week. And I think the SEC is just going to be back and forth. You got to be on every single Saturday. It'll be fun to see. I think this is a good year for that. What I saw, like 10 ranked teams. South Carolina's a sneaky good one. You still got Tennessee. You still got, I mean, you just have everybody. Everybody's good. Every single game is going to suck. It's going to be a dogfight. All right. Notre Dame versus Miami. All right. Irish need to win that one. With an out-of-conference schedule, no conference champion, I mean, they still have a chance. They still play some good teams. Still playing USC. Still playing Boise State. You're still playing Texas A&M. There's still a path for you as an independent school to get into the playoff again as the defending national champions. But it's going to be tough. You're going to have to get some impressive ones, and you're going to have to beat them thoroughly. It's not, you can't be in these coin flips. Now, like I said, if Miami goes and wins the ACC and makes it in the playoff, that's a good loss to Notre Dame, and I think that helps them, and that'll catapult them, and they can end this season on an undefeated note. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see how everything plays out, because I think every time you lose, you need that team that beat you to really have like a good year. And I think Miami could do that. I think under Beck, dude, guy's a gunslinger. He's been there. He's done that. He's played in the big games, right? You can trust him to do that. Look, I think you could see a couple ACC teams in it, man. Miami, I believe, can make it in there. I believe Clemson can knock it in there. But like I said, Florida State's going to be that underdog. Woo! A Miami-Florida State game, it's going to be a hell of a game, right? I think it's just fun. A lot of excitement, man. A lot of great teams, especially early in the year. Everybody is just going. And we'll just kind of see them dwindle off. All these teams, right? There's only a few there at the end, right? Good record going into it. But what just a fun weekend, right? And then I'm still going ACC football. Bill Belichick. I wasn't able to watch the game. I was able to watch the second half. I sat down, looked at the score, and I said, oh no. Mr. Belichick is getting his ass slapped. I mean, it might be a rough year for the Tar Heels. I don't think it's looking good for him. Getting slapped like that, what? It was like 40-something to 7 against a TCU team that's probably not going to be the greatest. And you still got to play Miami, Clemson, Florida State. Good luck, Mr. Belichick. Good luck. Try to get the 4 wins. 4 or 5 wins. That's a good season for you, right? Keeps him around, keeps rebuilding for the next year. We'll see how he does. Welcome to college football. You just got your ass kicked. So, I mean, good luck, man. I just don't think, I don't know. I think it's tough. It's tough. Coming to an NIL deal, all this bullshit and the recruiting and all that. It's not pro football. And you're not going to a historically great football program with a culture that's there. You're going to have to instill a culture, and you're almost starting from the ground up. And as far as dealing with all these players that run away in the transfer portal and trying to get players and paying them like this, and it's not structured like NFL, so it's all weird. Trying to navigate it, see how you can get all these players in. But I don't know if you care, but what I'm excited about, Boomer Sooner football smacked around Illinois State 35-3. I mean, it wasn't just look, Illinois State were expected to win, we're expected to kick the shit out of them. And we did. New quarterback, throwing for damn near 400 yards, was it? 392. We got a gunslinger. And when Oklahoma has a gunslinger, oh, that's trouble for everybody. Right? Years past, we have a gunslinger, and we have a defense that semi-good. If we have a defense that's even semi-good, like we do now, we're going to be a real problem, right? Last year, we had no offense whatsoever, and we struggled. We had a good defense, right? Kind of keep the scores down prior to years previous where the other team's going to score 45 points and we're going to have to score 50. We're not going to have to do that anymore, but I think we have an offense that can put points up on the board at a high clip, and we have a defense. We got Venables rocking all cylinders. Been there for a couple of years now. Getting this guy in, instilling the culture, doing his thing, recruiting right, getting the proper coaches in, proper players, getting everybody going. And now we finally have some people on offense that can attack, right? We got a guy who can sling it in Mr. Mateer, right? Comfortable win versus Illinois State, good ramp-up game. We got college game day coming to Normantown this weekend. against the mighty Wolverines there from Michigan, and I think we kick the shit out of them. I think this is going to be a big year for OU football. I really do, and I think we're going to start it. Great win versus Illinois State. Going to kick the shit out of Michigan at home. That place is going to be rocking, and it's going to be fantastic to see. I'm so excited. Wish I could go to that game. I'm going to the Auburn game in a few weeks. Mucho excited for it, right? But look, I think OU's looking good, and I think they're going to be a real threat in the SEC. I don't think anybody's really kind of seeing it or expects it. Just kind of, they haven't been very great the last few years. But I think now, oh man, do I think they have something. They have a good defense. We got a gunslinger. Those are two combinations to make Sooner football deadly as hell, right? Alabama's down. I just think we have it's going to be tough, no doubt. But I still think a 2 to 3 loss SEC team in Oklahoma can still make the playoffs, right? And that's what the brilliant part about it is. I think they're going to do some damage. I think the Sooners are going to be really good this year. And I am so excited for this college football season. It's a great first week, right? It kind of showed us what everybody's all about. Some teams had a tougher way. Some teams had some great wins. Some teams had some close losses. And some teams showed us they suck and they are nothing like how we thought they were going to be. Who's the guys this year? Who's going to come out as Heisman favorites? Certainly Arch has dropped down a little bit. You got Lenora Sellers running down there in South Carolina. You got even OU's John Mateer throwing for 400 yards. I love it. I'm excited. I think this is going to be an unbelievable year, right? If you're watching this still, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it if you watch this whole thing. I'm still working on it, getting better at my craft, but if you're still here, I really appreciate you. And just like and subscribe. That'd be great. Thank you, guys. Adios.